Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I am your host Rebecca Moonlover Felgate, and today we're talking the top 10 scary things that really happened on the moon. Sure, my middle name isn't really Moonlover, but it should be because I sure do love the moon. Yes, I do. The moon is absolutely my favorite celestial body, which maybe sounds kind of basic because there are some key players out there, but to me, it's attainable. It lights up my night sky. The visibility and proximity of the moon encouraged humans to actually get off the Earth. Now it has been over 50 years since the moon landing, and we're wondering what went on, just on the moon in general. Before we get into the video, I want to ask if you knew that Google Moon is a thing. I literally just discovered it today, and you can actually use Google to explore the moon for yourself. I love that. Have you explored the moon? Have you spotted anything weird on Google Moon? What do you think really happens up there? Let me know. If you haven't liked this video yet, please do go ahead and do so. It just makes me feel really warm and happy and round like a big shiny moon. If you want to discover more from our sources, then check out the links in our description box, where you can also find links to our most amazing Instagrams so you connect with us off screen. Alright, what's happening up there on the moon? Coming in at number 10, we have moonbats. Are there moonbats? Questions. Answers. In 1835, a series of 6 articles ran in a New York publication called The Sun. Attributed to astronomer John Herschel, it was said that there were animals living up there on the moon, and they'd been discovered via a high-powered telescope. Of the animals living on the moon, there were said to be bison, goats, unicorns, tailless beavers, and I'm sorry, but beavers are nothing without their wompy behinds, and none other than bat-winged humanoids who built temples. Or so they said. Sadly, so the article claims, while these moon creatures had definitely been seen and noted, like 100% actual factual, the high-powered telescope that they were spotted with was destroyed in a freak accident. The sun had set fire to the big lens and burned down the entire observatory that definitely existed in the first place. No, absolutely definitely was real and not in any way made up to sell newspapers. Moonbats! I think I'm here for it. Nope, I've checked. I am here for it. Coming in at number 9, we have the Alien Orchestra. On the last mission to the moon before the moon landing, something very weird happened. Apollo 10 was sent into space in May 1969, just 1 month before the official moon landing. The mission was a rehearsal orbit ahead of the landings, and it seemed to go smoothly, except for one eerie occurrence. It seems that the astronauts on board Apollo 10 heard something very weird as they travelled around the dark side of the moon. Some think it was sounds from a possible alien orchestra. The sounds were kept secret for nearly 50 years, but were released by NASA in 2016. Have a listen to what the astronauts on the spaceship said.
Sounds like, outer space-time music. Boy, that sure is weird music.
It was described as a wooing sound, alien music. It happened at the farthest point of the moon from the Earth, a part of the moon where actually the spaceship had lost contact with NASA. You can't reach the Earth from there, you couldn't back then, so really weird. What were the sounds? We just don't know. Coming into number 8, what really happened on the moon? Russia got there first, or so some people say. Yuri Gagarin from the Soviet Union was the first man in space in 1968. Now, some people believe that the Soviets also made it to the moon first, but the mission went wrong and the astronauts died, so they couldn't chalk it up as a victory. In fact, there is an enduring theory that 2 Soviet astronauts were lost in space and their existence entirely expunged by the Soviet secret intelligence. Conspiracy theorists claim recordings of the cosmonauts' final breaths were actually caught by listening posts around the world, including by the United States. Perhaps there are skeletons on the moon, if the bodies didn't float away. I don't think that can happen. Coming into number 7, nothing happened on the moon. It all happened in a studio. Or so the theory goes. Some people think that absolutely nothing happened on the moon on July 20th, 1969. Many people believe that it was all filmed in a studio. Some think that the studio footage was used only to reinforce the moon landings, as it was risky at whether or not cameras would work in the lunar vacuum. Others straight up do not believe we ever went to the moon at all, and they think that we filmed the whole thing just as a 2 fingers up to the Soviet Union, who were desperate to win the space race. Some say that famous filmmaker Stanley Kubrick directed the moon landings after doing such an amazing and authentic looking job on 2001: A Space Odyssey, which came out in 1968 and is still one of my favourite movies of all time. Coming in into number 6, we have the fake moon rocks. It is thought that the moon rocks brought back from the lunar surface are actually fakes from Antarctica. There was no moon rock taking from that moon. It is said that the Marshall Space Flight Center director Werner von Braun went to Antarctica in 1967 in order to gather lunar meteors. The conspiracy gets even wilder. It seems that von Braun was forced to go to Antarctica and collect the fake rocks, because if not, the United States government would expose his secret past as a leading Nazi. Conspiracies. I love them. Coming into number 5, what is happening up there right now? It seems that all of the flags have turned white. This is actually true. The flags on the moon have turned white. 6 United States flags have been planted on the moon to date by the 6 missions that have landed on the lunar surface, but conditions are wild and not all of them are still upright and none of them have retained their colour. To be a flag on the moon is to experience pure UV radiation from unfiltered sunlight. Over 40 years of exposure have absolutely ruined them. It's suspected that the first ever flag planted on the moon in 1969 has almost completely turned to ash. Coming into number 4, the curse of the moon. Is the moon cursed? Not only do people on Earth get superstitious about a full moon, it seems that there is a theory out there that says that the lunar surface itself is cursed. All of those who have stepped on the moon are said to have met bad luck and misfortune. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first men on the moon, that we know of anyway, and they both struggled to deal with life back on Earth. Buzz battled depression and an alcohol addiction. His father died, he got divorced 3 times, he got into a legal battle with his children, and he was arrested for disorderly conduct. He left NASA and got a job selling used cars. In 2002, when he was 72, he punched a woman in the face. Now, she was antagonizing him for sure, but unfortunately for him, it was caught on camera. Neil Armstrong also suffered. He quit NASA a year after the landing. He became withdrawn and disheartened because he didn't want to be famous. His daughter died, his marriage also fell apart. His mother and father died, and a year later he had a heart attack. He also somehow managed to lose a finger in a track accident. Michael Collins, the 3rd astronaut who never walked on the moon, actually did the best out of the 3. He stayed married, he worked several high-powered, high-paid jobs, and he claimed to have had a happy life after returning to Earth. But once again, he never set foot on the lunar surface. Coming into number 3, we have the moon pyramids. Numerous sources have claimed to have picked up images of pyramids on the moon. Weird. So-called UFO hunter Mark Swala claimed that a NASA image of the Exodus crater has a pyramid in it. It seems that the Apollo 17 mission may have also inadvertently captured images of a pyramid too. So what could the pyramid be? Well, perhaps number 2 can answer our questions. We have the alien base. In the 1820s, a Bavarian astronomer Franz von Pula-Grothenhausen claimed to have seen entire cities on the moon with his telescope. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. Astronomer Sir William Herschel also believed that there were alien civilizations up there too. Others think that, yeah, they're up there, but perhaps they've gone underground. So where's the evidence? It seems that underground tunnels may have been picked up by India's Chandrayaan-1 lunar orbiter. These tunnels on the dark side were likely actually to have been the products of tubes of lava flow that created a massive system of caves, but some people believe that these caves are inhabited by living beings. More recently, there was an article in the Daily Express, which, I mean, take that with a pinch of salt, that claimed alien lunar bases were visible on Google Moon. So I guess we could check that out for ourselves. Google Moon. I'm still here for it. Finally, coming into number 1, we have what Neil saw. As we know, Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, delivering his notable phrase, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." But what if Neil Armstrong did more than just walk on the moon? What if he saw things? It seems that there is indeed a theory that part of the reason he struggled to deal with life back on Earth was because he was actually being heavily oppressed by NASA and the United States government because of what he really saw. Again, this is all just a theory, but it seems that the moon landing was initially censored for 2 whole minutes, and in that time, conspiracists say that both Armstrong and Aldrin saw UFOs. In fact, an alleged transcript between Apollo 11 and NASA has been released, during which Armstrong was reported saying the following: "Those are giant things. No, 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 it's not an optical illusion. No one is going to believe this. We saw some visitors. They were here for a while observing the instruments. There were other spaceships. They were lined up on the other side of the crater. There they are, and they're watching us." Again, we don't know if he actually said this. These are just the rumors, but what if he did see UFOs on the moon? So guys, that was the top 10 scary things that really happened on the moon. Allegedly, according to some people. I'm not sure about a lot of these, but we do love a good theory here at Most Amazing Top 10. What we also love? A thumbs up on our videos, so go ahead and do so if you like this kind of content. What do you guys think happened on the moon? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know if you spot anything weird on Google Moon. I'm gonna be spending my afternoon just Googling the moon. For now though, please do leave a thumbs up on this video. Check out the links in the description box for sources that went into creating this video and all of the people behind the scenes, links to them, and stick around because we've got a whole playlist. I think you'll enjoy it. See you soon. Bye.